one that says, following from Kitale from Robinson, what is Chiki's Nigerian name?
So actually, Chiki is not an uncommon name in Nigeria.
Really?
So it's normally pronounced Chike.
Yeah.
My full name is Chikwere.
Okay.
Chi means God where I'm from. So that's why you have a lot of like Chinedus, Chinwa, Chebi. Chi means God. So
Chi means God.
Igbo land, which is where I'm from.
Right.
It's very common.
Oh, love it.
It's funny, in Kenya it's like, my name's Chiki. Oh, is it? That's interesting. In Nigeria, oh, another one. So good.
Another one. I love her Nigerian accent. It's just so spot on. Say something in the accent. I love it.
No, that's so creepy. That's like me saying, like, say what?
Okay, say, my name is Chiki and I'm loving the show today.
I be Chiki now, the show is popping.
Hey, it's popping indeed. All right, Chiki, so you've spoken about Bien, you've spoken about, you know, how you met him. Let's get on to your dance journey. You've been dancing for 5-6 years in Kenya?
No, I mean,
8 years?
The whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah.
And of course, how was it? In the beginning, you said you started off with dance content. And then, of course, you ended up teaching people. And then you got your own dance studio. So what has the journey been like? What have some of the challenges been in terms of budgets? You know, I know it's not easy, especially as a dancer here in Kenya. We're always faced with lots of difficulties in terms of getting people to actually support you and sponsor you. And then putting up an event as well. Now, that's what you do. So some of the challenges that you've encountered along the way, maybe you can take us through that.
Yeah, I think, like, shout out to the wonderful Kenyan dance community. I mean, there's so many amazing dancers in Kenya. I think the hardest thing that I first faced being a female dancer is the immediate sexualization of what you do.
Absolutely.
And even when you're talking about kind of like video vixens or wanting to kind of be female hypes, it was always okay for guys to be kind of like crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's
Hype
like,
man.
as soon as the girls come on, you're supposed to be. So that was the first thing, because that makes me just fundamentally uncomfortable, you know, because I'm like a hype person.
Yeah.
So then it's kind of like, no, what are you doing, man? You should be backing it up. And I was like, I mean, I can, but I do other stuff as well. Yeah, exactly. I think that was a major challenge. I think a second challenge is, I feel like in the industry in general, in the creative arts industry in general, I'm known for really getting frustrated, because when people speak about creative arts, it's almost like they mean musicians.
Absolutely. All the time.
All the time. Yeah. And now if they're a little bit more open-minded, maybe they talk about actors as well. Dance very rarely gets entered into the conversation.
Yes, that's true.
So when you're trying to pitch to people, the idea of dance is as a backing instrument. So it might be if a musician's on stage, then a dancer can come and back it up, right? If it's a hype set, then a dancer, and I think every one is responsible for that. You know, people who are hiring dance don't think about the years of training, the pain you put your body through, the limitations on your career lifespan, all of those things. They just think, let's hype something up, let's get some people jumping in the front, and it's going to be really cool.
You never really get to see a dancer get the limelight.
Limelight. I was asked a question today and actually shocked me the answer. So Art in Motion, big up Art in Motion, phenomenal dance crew. They were in my studio today, and one of them, Gidendu, asked me, like, how many dancers do you know are brand ambassadors? And it shocked me that there was me, there was Agi, again, a brilliant dancer, and there was now Art in Motion have just taken on an ambassadorship. So even that, like, dance makes so much engaging content.
Yes,
but the fact that it hasn't been considered as brand ambassador worthy has been a struggle. I think the fact that dance also sits within the wellness and fitness space as well, and even within that space it's considered the lowest of the low. So it almost feels, I think for me, the struggle has been the same struggle as anyone in this industry, where you're placed. And you can't expect parents to take the craft seriously until you see enough success stories. It's only of late that parents see music as a viable option for Kenyans, because you have your Sauti Souls, you have your Nishinskis, you have your Calligraphs, you have enough success stories to be like, okay, maybe it's not that much of a risky career path. But for dancers, there still isn't enough success stories. So it really requires, as an industry, for us to keep speaking about our worth, what we deserve, encouraging our parents to really support us in the training journey, and encouraging brands, musicians, the rest of the creative arts industry to come on board and to support. So I think that's the challenge of everyone. Secondarily, as a woman opening a business, oh my gosh, like fundis. I love you, but fundis can really mess you up, and the budget that you create to put something together can just be thrown out of the window simply because a fundi just hasn't stuck either to target or to budget or something like that. The fact that very often the men that I pay would be treated as the people who were in charge in my space. So someone would come in and automatically go and speak to the guys, you know, instead of me, who's the one paying everyone's salaries at the end of the day. So I think that challenge, when it comes from the perspective of being an entrepreneur, but again, I'm sure that's not unique to dance. I've heard that story from so many female entrepreneurs. Exactly. So I think just in general, being taken seriously in whichever space.
As a dancer,
as a woman, as a dancer, as an entrepreneur, as a member of the creative arts community. I mean, you can just kind of pick as an African. I mean, I think that's another big thing that I've really struggled with in Kenya, is that in the UK, no one will question your Africanness. As a result of your skin colour, your name, whatever. You step here and immediately your Africanness is being questioned. That has been a big struggle as well, because you spent your whole life being proud of the continent that you come from, and then you come to the continent and people on the continent are reducing you to the UK, which is why when you said British, I would always say I'm a Nigerian, and proudly
Perfect. I mean, I like that, because I was actually going to ask you as the next question, you know, coming to Kenya, did you ever face any sort of discrimination because of your accent, firstly, you know, because people were like, oh, she's not your usual Kenyan looking girl, and of course the fact that you're Nigerian, of course you're African, but still you're not Kenyan. So like, did you ever get that vibe, the discrimination? Did you ever experience something of the sort?
Yeah, I will never be a Western victim, because the reality is that you get so much more positive assumptions, which is equally as wrong as negative assumptions. Assumptions in general are wrong. So coming here, there have been so many assumptions that I'm more educated, assumptions stereotypes. But I struggle because I'm not more educated than a Kenyan person necessarily. I'm not more worldly than a Kenyan person necessarily. So a lot of the assumptions,
have more money than
I don't
a
have
Kenyan
more
person.
money than it. Well, I can understand where that one comes from, because if you come from a system where you don't have to pay for education, you don't have to pay for healthcare, you don't have to pay for those things.
In that sense, yes.
You can understand where
they're coming from.
Where there's a frustration that you've obviously come from privilege. It is privilege. It's privilege to not have to consider any of those things. My bigger worry was not people assuming that I have money. That actually doesn't bother me, because if I don't, I don't. It was more, don't assume that I'm better than your average Kenyan. And I did not like that. I did not like being treated better than my Kenyan counterparts. I love my Kenyan friends. I love my Kenyan family. Like, for instance,
when you go to a restaurant.
When I go to a restaurant with my cousin-in-law, the fact that I will be treated better than her is so wrong to me. So I had more positive discrimination, which is still negative, really, than negative
in its
discrimination.
own way. Absolutely it is, because you know, you want everyone to feel equal, you want everyone to be treated the same way, not based on the color of your skin or where you come from, right? So I mean, that's great to know that, you know, you are against that, and of course you discourage that in every sense. That's amazing. So Chiki, let's talk about your journey, you know, with BN. For instance, when you had this relationship going on, were there people who were against it? Was anyone saying that, you know, really, is this the right choice? Like your family, for instance, do you think he's the man for you? Was there any sort of negative backlash from people you love, from your family, or everyone was always supportive?
Neither of us care. I mean, maybe there would have been, but I think for you to engage in that kind of conversation, you have to care in the first place. And both of us have always been very set in the fact that this is it. So you jump on board or you go elsewhere. So I mean, maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. I didn't take time to invest in that. What was important to me is that I respect his mum, I respect his dad, he respects my mum, he respects my dad. Outside of that, it's really not our problem.
I really just love that, you know, you really interact with his dad so well. I've seen her videos, like she posts Bien's dad on her social media. They're hilarious. She makes him dance to like soca music.
I try.
And he's really just loving it. Like, he's been living with you for a while, and I think like he's enjoying his time with you.
Yeah, no, I'm really close to his parents, and I think they just respect the fact that as adults, we come to them as adults. We don't try and pretend we're different from who we are. I think that's a misconception that I think kids have, that you have to show a perfect version of yourself to your parents, and I think they just want to connect with you. So I've always really taken time to invest in my relationships of people that I care about, and I care about my in-laws, so I really invest in our relationship. They're both amazing. His mum is my mum, genuinely.
That's so sweet.
His mum is actually nicer than my mum in many respects. I love my mum. I love my mum.
If your mum is watching,
no, I tell her all the time, because Bien's mum is just so much more caring. Like, my mum is so warm. My mum is more like, okay, pick yourself up. You're fine. Bien's mum is going to be more like, Akiwoye, Pole, what can I do? Can I get you some medicine or something?
Especially when you're coming home after a long day.
No, she lives in Kakamega.
Okay, but like, I'm sure, like, you know, you tell her about what you do, and she's always like, oh, it's okay if you're tired.
Exactly. As in, I'll just take time. What you know, she sends stuff over from the village. So no, his parents are amazing. I am so blessed. I think the reason why I really try and post and talk about it is there's such a negative stereotype that in-laws are monsters.
Evil. Yes.
And that hasn't been my experience. My in-laws are incredible, and I think we need to break down.
We need to change that narrative.
We need to change that
because
narrative.
everyone believes, as you said, that in-laws are monsters and they're evil, and you know, you just stay away from them. You can't live with them, and that needs to be changed. And it's great that, you know, that's a step in the right direction, I must say. Now, Chiki, let's talk about your day to day. What time does Chiki wake up? What time does she go to the studio? Because every time I call you, you're in the dance studio. And it's hard to get Chiki because she's always dancing. She has a shoot. She's literally on the move from morning until night. So take us through a day in Chiki's life.
First of all, it's testimony to how much I love you that I'm here right now. Because I wake up, because I wake up most days at about 4:30.
Okay.
I really believe in prayer. So from about 4:30 till 5, I'll meditate on my day, or I'll pray. I believe in gratitude, just waking up and saying thanks. So then from 5, I get to my studio about 5:36. I have a website, so it's a subscription-based website. So it should be that you can dance from wherever you are, from the comfort of your own home. I really believe dancing is for everyone.
And you know, just to talk about that, I mean, it's one of the first in Kenya.
No, it's
right.
It's the
first.
It's the first in Africa.
In Africa, that is unbelievable. You know, when I saw this, I was like, this is brilliant, because this idea is something that we've seen in Western countries, we've seen in India, we've seen around the world, but it hasn't been embraced and adopted here in Kenya. And you brought it to life, and how well have you done it? So she has a website where you can actually watch dance and learn dance, and you subscribe to it and you pay a subscription fee, and she teaches you everything that you need to know about dance. And especially now with COVID, you know, in the middle of a pandemic, I feel like it's the best thing that you could do for yourself.
So the idea was supposed to be, actually my biggest motivation was mums. Because when my show was on in Citizen in the morning, 5:30 till 6, right? Mums used to say it's perfect because we're getting our kids ready to school, so we kind of dance along and blah blah blah. And I understand that for maybe 5-6% of the country, people have time or facilities to go to the gym and come back. For a lot of the population, that's not true. So it might be the case that you're coming home late, or you're leaving early, or you know what, you just don't want to leave your house and you want to spend the time with your family. I think all of those things are valid and fair. So I wanted to find a wellness option for those people. So yes, it's subscription based. It's not just me, it's me and my entire team, and all of those different dance genres we teach them. So we have cardio carnival, we have Afrofusion, we have hip hop, we have voguing, and we take it from beginners all the way through to advanced.
Love it.
But it's a lot of work. So what that means is
you have to wake
I'm
up
teaching
early,
on ground as well as filming an entire
How many classes do you have in a day?
Digital and physical?
Yes, both.
I teach for about 4 hours a day.
Wow, 4 hours of dance. And I'm sure you also have to train, but you have to practice, you have to come up with choreographies and routines.
No, we do that on the spot. There's no time for that. But because we also have our clients, so I do a lot. I mean, you'd be surprised, a lot of the music videos I've have been involved in, especially with Soul Generation, almost all of them. So that now requires creation.
Absolutely.
So for the website, not necessarily, because if we're teaching a beginner's class, our aim isn't to have you know, a Beyonce. Our aim is for people to enjoy, because people get really intimidated by the fact that maybe they're not the best dancer.
And dancing is a way to release stress, it's a way to unwind, and it's the best form of endorphins, I believe. Like, if you want to feel happy, dance away.
I mean, it's the best form of exercise.
Exercise as well, yes.
It's the only exercise that uses the right side of your brain along with the left side of your brain.
Love it.
So what it does is pushes your creativity as well as your counting.
Okay.
Because choreography requires you to count. So that's kind of the more literal, whilst you're also doing the creative. So it's amazing for mental health, because if you're anxious, if you're stressed, normally it goes through your mind the entire time. But when your right side and your left side are engaged, your body just shuts down. You focus on the activity, and when you come back after it, you're rejuvenated. You've had some time out.
I've learned a lot in this interview, I have to say. So thank you so much, Chiki.
Thank you,
Before we wind up, you have to teach me 1 or 2 soca steps.
No, I don't.
No, you have to.
I told Shiksha I wasn't going to do this. And you know what? I'm Nigerian. I can still say no.
Chiki, come on.
I can
just
say no.
one. You were teaching me one like this. What was
I didn't teach you that.
No. Okay, what was it?
If she leaves this place and says I taught her that, then...
Okay, so she told me, like, don't do this. Do this to your hand.
No.
Right?
I said... the move is an inappropriate word, so I can't even talk about it.
It's just basically
it's
like...
from the bottom.
Okay, so it's sideways.
Yes,
the bounce.
But it's from the bounce, exactly. The bounce. The arms follow on from
gotcha.
From the bottom.
What's the name of this? You said that you...
It's called the bounce.
It's called the bounce. So she's a soca queen. Go check her out on Instagram. She's got some incredible moves going on. You need to go to @Chiki Kuruka.
Or at the dance shags. It's or shago. SAGZ.
All right, and she will make sure that you are well. You basically need everything that you need from dance. She's got it.
Boom.
When it comes to soca, dance hall, what else?
Hip hop,
Vogue.
I'm a piano. Lingala.
There's some heels dance you're telling me about.
No, you said no. We don't do heels in our studio because my floor was very expensive.
Right. But that's something that you've trained in. What's it called? Heels choreo.
They're just dancing in heels.
Dancing in heels. So she can dance in heels as well. So if you want to watch that, I'm sure later on in life we'll do something together.
No, you might have to come to my house for that.
Okay, done. Any message for your fans as we wrap up?
Love yourself. Don't let people tell you that you're less than amazing, because you are amazing.
Oh, love it. So thank you so much for watching. That was Chiki Kuruka. Absolutely lovely having her in studio, talking about dance, talking about the journey of a dancer here in Kenya, her struggles, her challenges, of course, her relationship as well. And yeah, like the fact that she is really shattering the glass ceiling when it comes to dancing, when it comes to dancers. Absolutely love to see it. So that's it from me today right here at KBC Channel 1. I'll meet you next week at 9 p.m. Stay tuned. Until then, enjoy your weekend. God bless. Shiksha Arora signing out. Bye.